Hello, everybody. A look at our top headlines. Netflix buys a major media corporation, the anniversary of a local terrorist attack, and a local high school football program brings home a state championship title. All of that and more is coming up on News 5 Now.
Brought to you by Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday evening. My name is Summer Poole. I am the digital reporter here at WKRG TGIF. Thank goodness it is Friday. I love a good Friday. I have a lot of Christmas plans over the weekend that I'm excited about. I hope you guys have some Christmas plans. I don't know. I know it's still about 3 weeks away from Christmas, but Christmas parties happening. So a lot of stuff. Parades are happening this weekend, even though they've been rescheduled. There's tree lightings. Our very own Catherine Burt is at Pritchard right now for the tree lighting there. So, there's a lot of stuff happening this weekend. But before we get to the weekend, we've got a couple of stories we got to go over right here, right now. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our top 5 stories of the day. Number 5, streaming giant Netflix is buying Warner Brothers for $72 billion. The acquisition would bring 2 of the industry's biggest players in film and TV under one roof and bring 2 of the streaming world's biggest names under one owner. If the 2 platforms remain separate subscriptions, you may see more bundled promotions from Netflix and HBO Max. Number 4, tomorrow marks 6 years since the deadly terror attack on board Naval Air Station Pensacola. On December 6, 2019, a Saudi Arabian student pilot shot and killed 3 U.S. Navy personnel on board the naval base. An Escambia County Sheriff's deputy shot and killed the gunman. The shooting, later declared an act of terrorism, and the 21-year-old student pilot acted alone. Number 3, 2 dogs were not able to escape a burning home in Northwest Florida. Escambia County firefighters were called to a home on Trammell Boulevard around 9:30 yesterday morning. When they got there, flames were coming from the home. It took firefighters less than 10 minutes to put out the flames, but the dogs inside died in the fire. Officials believe an extension cord plugged into an outlet in the bedroom failed, sparking the fire. The Red Cross is helping the homeowners to relocate. Number 2, a Florida man has been arrested and charged in the cold case murder of a Mobile native in 1997. Investigators say DNA evidence linked 66-year-old Andrew Dykes to the murders of Tanya Jackson and her 2-year-old daughter, Tatiana. Tanya's dismembered remains were discovered in June of 1997 in a state park on Long Island. Her daughter's remains were found nearby in April of 2011 near several victims of the Gilgo Beach murders investigation. At the time, Dykes was interviewed and cleared as a suspect. Authorities now say the 2 investigations are not related. Dykes will be returned to New York to face murder charges. And number 1, the Jackson Aggies claim their 2nd consecutive state title in the 4A division. The Aggies took on the Anniston Bulldogs at Protective Stadium in Birmingham today for the Blue Map. Jackson shut out the Bulldogs, sealing their victory 52-0. This is the 4th time in the program's history the Aggies have won the state championship. The Saraland Spartans will face the Clay Chalkville Cougars in Birmingham for the 6A title tonight at 7 o'clock. And that, my friends, is a look at our top stories this Friday evening. All right, guys, you know what time it is. It's time for the question of the day. And I went ahead and read some of these comments ahead of coming in here, and it looks like mostly everyone is on the same page. So the question is, should juveniles accused of violent crimes be tried as adults? We asked this question because if you missed it yesterday, there were 2 Pace teenage boys who were arrested after the body of a 14-year-old girl was found shot and burned. So We wanted to know what you guys think because the sheriff said he's thinking about trying these 2 juveniles as adults. So, Scott says, do the crime, do the time. We've got a bunch of people saying yes. Pam says, it depends on the juvenile and the attitude of the juvenile, severity of the crime, so many variables to consider. Defendants are getting younger and younger, so it's time laws change a bit to fit the ages. Susan says, we are all free to choose. We are not free of the consequences of those choices. More yeses. Margaret says, if you're old enough to make adult decisions and do adult crimes, plus you know the right from wrong, yes, they should try them as adults. More yeses. Randy says, yes, if they want to do adult stuff, they should get adult results. Ashley says, situational always has been a judge's call. Tammy says, the King brothers were tried as adults when they were 12 and 15. Janet says, they do not give their victim an option of life. Why should they get an option? More yeses. Kevin says, yes, they can't receive the death penalty until they are an adult, which I agree with, but the 2 boys in Pace that just shot the little girl and burned her body should never be free again. So, like I said, a lot of people in agreement here that if juveniles commit crimes, especially violent crimes, specifically violent crimes, then they should be tried as adults. You can still chime in, or you can go look at everybody else's comments on our Facebook page when you go to this post. So thank you guys so much for commenting and giving us your opinions on this. All right, let's go to our poll. I know our poll is a bit more fun and lighthearted. Our poll is, do you shop online or in store for Christmas gifts? 60% of people say online, 37% say in store, and 3% had no opinion. Now, when it comes to me personally, I'm a mixture of both. I do a little bit of online shopping and a little bit of in-store shopping. I like being able to go in stores and like look at the thing that I'm interested in store to see if I actually like it, because online sometimes you can buy something and you can get it and it's not what you expected, and by now it's December 5th, and for you to send something back and then try and reorder something different might not get here before Christmas. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying. So that's why I personally like in-store shopping compared to online shopping. But I do some online shopping. So personal preference, really. I know online shopping has gotten, a lot more popular in these days. But I think I said this last week. I miss Black Friday when it was like Black Friday, when people were like camping outside of stores at 2 a.m., when there were like fights in Walmart that you saw videos of like people fighting over a kid's scooter. Like, it wasn't great for them, but it was entertaining, and I liked to go and try and get a good deal. And so yeah, I miss Black Friday, but that's a story for another time. Anyways, you guys know, if you know me, that I have some homework for you. So you're going to want to go to our Facebook page, WKRG, and you're going to want to vote in our next poll and leave your input on our next question. Our next question is, what is your family's Christmas tradition? And the poll is, do you plan to work past retirement age? Well, that, my friends, will do it for me. I will see you right back here next week. And like I said, I hope you have a very, very great weekend. Bye, guys.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers.
In the courtroom, the judge knows best, and this judge does too. If you've been hurt in a wreck, You need a law firm that knows the system and how it works. I'm attorney David Green. Call or come by anytime.